Nobody stop me. A's and B's in the school, then watch cross stage and Mars. Ooh, mama, you want your race to go to the sun. Always destined to get it, but now will only begun. Confidence, said she love my accomplishments, yeah. Said she love my confidence, said she love my accomplishments, yeah. Said she love my dominance, said she love my harmony, yeah. Said she love my dominance.
Hey, welcome back to another episode of Flag Talk, where we talk about all things regarding flag football and the people who are doing big things around the sport of flag football. I'm Eric Cooper.
I'm Rashad Colvin.
Hey, and in our league, we're blessed to have a person who brings his whole organization down to participate in our flag league during their off season. The organization is called Next Generation, and the organizer, the man who runs it all, is here with us today. James, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
Speak a little something. Say a little something to the people.
I'm happy to be here. This is one of my dreams, to be like part of something like this, and I'm glad to you guys giving me the opportunity to do that and speak on my organization. And I'm just proud to be here right now.
Sure.
Good.
All right. So real quick, not to cut you off, Coop. So tell people like who you are and tell us a little bit about your organization.
All right. Well, my name's James Threatte, and my organization is the whole thing is skills and drills. We started out as just a training thing. We're training kids, getting them ready for their football season. And, as I was doing this, I'm like, you know what, let me see. I have enough kids. I could put together, a team.
Nice.
So I had a group of just a group of kids, and our first ever event was the Turkey Bowl in North Park.
Okay.
And when we won that, I said to myself, I was like, we could do something with this. I could do something with this.
Okay.
The kids were happy. The parents were happy, of course. And it was a good event for us. We only practiced maybe, I think, 2 days. And we went to this Turkey Bowl, and we ended up going undefeated and winning it. And that's what sparked me, like, you know what, I could grow this into something bigger. And that's where NextGen came from.
Okay.
What about you? Answered my question already about.
Oh, did I?
Yeah. You're
Was
cool.
that your first question?
That was.
My bad.
Where did NextGen come? Well, where did the next? Just the name itself. What made you just come up with that name? Did you come up with that name or?
Yeah. The name. Well, it's. I'm a wrestling fan, so I watch WWE. So
okay.
WWE has a developmental territory called NXT.
Oh,
so it's like
okay.
WWE, and this means next. So
okay.
I'm just like, all right, let me
love that.
do that.
Okay.
Next gen, next generation.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are going to be the next generation of Valley or of, wherever. You're going to be you're the next generation. Whatever you want to be, you're the next generation of that. So that's where I came up with the name.
All right.
Next Gen.
Love that. All right. So your first introduction to like an actual league, let's just say it was with the Pittsburgh NFL League, Pittsburgh National Flag Football League. So that 8U team that you brought, first of all, I want to tell you, like, I thought that team was phenomenal. So take us to that 8U championship game against the Eagles, where it was number 1 versus number 2, how electric that sideline was. To me, I thought in 2024 in our spring league, hands down, I thought that was the best game. Mm-hmm. Hands down, that was the game of the season for us. And I felt like your team was super duper prepared. Like for what you guys were doing at 7 and 8, I was just like, oh my goodness. So tell me about what that season was. Tell us about how it felt winning that championship and how that game was.
That team was a great team. That team, that group of boys, this group of boys were just, they love football. Mm-hmm. They love football. They're probably out there playing football right now, or thinking about it, or but they love it. And that was that part you don't coach. Mm-hmm. You don't coach the love. For sure. Right. They already have that.
For sure.
So what I brought in was routine, structure, and discipline. And like I said, some of them kids were on that Turkey Bowl team. So they knew, like, okay, we can do it. You know, we can do it.
No doubt.
So they had the confidence, all the tools you need to be successful.
For sure.
You know, especially in flag where it's fast paced.
Mhm.
One mistake can mean the game.
Absolutely.
You know, you got to really pay attention to everything that's going on. And they were a great group of kids that practices were very competitive.
Really?
So that's kind of where it started. Like,
Okay.
we made the practices really competitive.
For sure.
So when they played in the games, they
Yeah,
already
absolutely.
had that.
Yep.
You
Yeah.
know, they already had that fight in them. And the Eagles, that Eagles team brought that out of them. You know, it really brought that out of them. Because I feel like, if I remember, we played 3 times that year. We played the first game, we won. Second game, the Eagles won. And then
this is the rematch.
The rubber
right?
match. You know, the third,
Tiebreaker.
Yeah.
So, you know, it was a championship game, and credit to the Eagles coaches. You know, we kind of had a good rivalry. Like, you know, we weren't yelling at each other, you know, screaming at each other.
Right.
We
It
argued.
was respectful.
It was
for
a
sure.
respectful
For sure.
rivalry.
Yeah.
And it was a good game. It was one of them. I could still remember it a little bit. You know, our quarterback, he had a great game.
He had a great
the Dar Green.
He was throwing darts.
You know, he's a good. You know, he's really the engine of the team of NextGen going forward. You know, is going to be how he grows and develops. But you know, he grew up that game. A lot of kids grew up that game.
Nice.
So that I didn't know how it was going to go, but I knew in my game plan in that game, we have to throw it.
For sure.
We have to throw. We have to throw it. You know.
So real quick, and not to stop you. So you guys didn't really throw it like that year?
No.
Okay.
We ran a lot of. You know, I ran a lot of. You know, just run plays, misdirection.
Okay,
You
gotcha,
know, just things get the ball in the best player's hands and let him go.
Gotcha.
But like I said, it was our third.
So you had to do something different.
So
Gotcha.
you know, they knew it. They knew my plays. They know it. And, you know, so you know, I tried running my running plays, and you know, they were getting stopped. You know, so you know, we gotta let it rip.
Yeah,
we gotta let it rip. So, it was the Dar Green. It was Tim Horgan and Tavante Broden, who were the 2 main targets of that game, and they all grew up that game,
No
you know,
doubt.
and I was really proud of them. They, as you've seen, they brought that to the next year,
no doubt,
which was even how should I say it, better, or
For sure.
you know, it just felt good,
No
you
doubt.
know, because
No
this
doubt.
Pittsburgh flag is hard.
For
This
sure.
is a tough league.
for sure.
It's a very tough league that you have to be, you know, ready to go.
No doubt.
You know, as soon as you get there. So that's what I was trying to instill.
No
with
doubt.
them.
Okay.
You already were leading up to it. So let's talk about this season. And your TIGU team, coming off that 8U championship win, came up, and now you guys put off, I think, was the upset of the season in the championship game and beat the #1 team in that 10U division. I don't think anybody saw that covered. So just tell us, how, you know, your thoughts about that, what happened in that game, the vibe, and but first, and what's it like being back-to-back champions?
Hold up. Did you talk about how they beat the #1 team?
Well, I mentioned it. Oh, I
Okay.
said that. I didn't put out the score. But I put them how they beat the Cowboys 19-0.
No, but
didn't go out to
I
that.
want to say, like, how we, at least to the league, it looked like that was an upset.
That's why I said it was the biggest upset of the season.
Okay.
I felt like it was. I felt like it was an upset too, because in the beginning of the season, they beat us 40-20.
Wow.
So
What?
you know, and I took that on, you know, on the chin,
Right.
you know, and I told the kids, you know, like, you know, we're going to see them again. We're going to see them again. So
Okay.
get that in our mind.
So you knew it. Yeah. Okay.
You know, I knew it. You know, but leading up to that week, I'll go back all the way back to that beginning of that week. That quarterback, the Dar Green, he comes up to me. He asked me a question. He says, Coach, do we have playoffs are this week? And I said he wants to know is it I said it's all one day. Playoffs is all one day.
Okay.
And the next thing he says to me is, so we're going to win a championship this week.
Okay.
So
I love that confidence.
So that right there was it. That was the spark. That was the spark of that week.
Okay.
For that team.
For him to be young like that and had that confidence.
But I think it also helped that he was a champion last year.
That's true.
And so he was like, okay, now it's time to go.
That's what I felt too. And I felt like that last year he knew it. He knew what to take. We could lose a game, and just because we lose one game don't mean it's the end of the year.
For sure.
We got to keep playing. We got to keep working. And in that game was I didn't expect him to do it like that. I came in there, like we're going. I have my best plays. I got my best plays for you guys. I'm going to give it to my best ball players' hands, and they went out and they just took off.
They dominated.
I would be lying if I said I saw it coming.
19-0.
I thought it was. Shout out to Richie and his staff. Richie's a legend and coach
for sure.
But going against, you want to go against the best.
Bro, absolutely.
You want to go against, that like the Bill Belichick of the league.
Doubt.
You want to go against that guy. And so, to go up there and for my kids to go out there and not only get to the championship game, beating the Seahawks and then going and beating the Cowboys. Was a feat
for sure. That I'm phenomenal teams.
Proud.
Sure.
Really proud of them, and then the after effect. Seeing the smiles and the parents happy and just seeing them take pictures with their sisters and their brothers.
For sure.
It made it. It's all worth it. I don't. Bringing 5 teams into the league. I'm glad. We want 5 championships, but I'm really proud of the growth all 5 teams did, and for one of them to make it out and win it, that's the icing on the cake
for sure.
I'm really proud of all of my kids, and that 10U team, was very, very special, and I'll remember that team forever.
No doubt. Yeah, now they the team to beat. Like if hitting in the next season,
they're all gonna be coming back.
No doubt.
Okay.
So talking about going back to the first year, we heard that parents saw what you guys did with that 8U team, and they saying like, "Hey, why can't we expand and have more teams?" So what was that process like? How did you develop, and how did you get more teams to become NextGen, and how did you have 5 teams?
So my whole plan was to grow. I wanted to see, all right, if we can compete.
No doubt.
So this is the perfect league to compete in. This is one of the only leagues local to compete in and get kids better. So with that, I said to myself, all right, I had an 8U, I want to have a 10U. So just in case those kids that moved out of the 8U age, they have a home.
For sure.
And then I have nephews. My nephew played on the Patriots last year of it, and I said, I'm gonna have a 12U team too for you. You get a couple of your boys.
Okay.
See what we could do. Parents, I put it out on Facebook. The parents, they registration went real fast.
Right.
It went real quick. I had to kind of turn people away. I don't like that. I did not like that. So
you had too many people.
Too many, and I wanted to keep it minimum to, at least 8's a good number.
Right. Solid.
So it's everyone could play.
Absolutely.
Get
100%.
smooth.
For sure.
So stop you right there. If you had enough people, you could have had a couple of teams represent. You didn't feel like
but you still got to have coaches.
Oh, that's true.
You got, and that was the thing too. So I wanted to have a girls team because, at the Steel City Showdown last year, I saw the girls play, and I never seen girls play football. They play better than the boys. I do. I feel like they
was
play
balling
better than the boys.
Yeah,
you know, they wanted more.
Yeah,
you know,
and
so I'm like, why don't we have that? You know,
Right.
we don't have that. You know, we have a girls wrestling team, which is really great. Now let's get a girls flag team.
For sure.
So I just went get interest out, and I had a couple. That filming a girls team was a little tough. It was a little challenge because it's a new thing.
For sure.
It's a new sport.
For sure.
You know, a lot of girls in our area stick to cheerleading.
Right.
You know, some do wrestling, but football. I'll let my brother do that. You know, that's
right.
you know,
right.
but
That's the stipulation on it for sure.
But they, the girls that I had this year, you know, from the day one to the last game, they got better every single week. And so that's how it happened. I had an 8U, a 10U, and I had two 12U teams, and that's the team. Like I said, I didn't want to turn nobody away.
Right.
So I said, you know what? I'm gonna split that up, and have two 12U teams, and I'm gonna have a girls team, and practices were very fun and competitive. I tell you that, you know. So it was a good experience for them, and a lot of them had a good time and
No
a good
doubt.
season. So
That's what it's
I'm
about.
really proud for what I did, and
sure.
for the parents to put up with, or not put up with it, but commit to it.
For sure.
You know? So it's a commitment.
No doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, most definitely.
Now, NextGen is not just about winning titles.
Mm-hmm.
It's a positive outlook that you have and a positive thing that you're doing for the kids in that community. Tell us, what have you seen the impact on the kids that have been in your program and a part of the New Kensington community, things of that nature?
Winning is like the icing on the cake. You know, but what I want is, and what Skills and Drills was first, before it was a football team, was just kids to be active.
For sure.
You know, be active. You know, let's go outside, and there was nothing for our kids in the community for a long time. And especially as spring to summer was definitely a time where we didn't have nothing there. So I said, I'm gonna do it. It was free. It was my first year at Skills and Drills was free, and I had about 50 kids, know, daily, just coming out ready to work out.
Wow.
And that was the first year of it. And then I said, let's see who really wants to commit to it. Let's see if we can commit. If the parents, could commit to it, then we have something.
For sure.
Because because I'm ready, and I it got from playing doing tackle football, and we play in the Big East Conference, and that's a tough conference. We play, Jeanette, we play Gateway, we play Penn Hills, Franklin Regional. We play all them, big top tier schools, and we need some extra help.
For sure.
We need something to get us over that hump.
No doubt.
And that's what Skills and Drills was.
Okay.
Or is. And then, like you said, it turned into NextGen, and the kids love it. They like competing. They love racing. They like it's fun. They all they sometimes they get so mad like it's a game.
Right.
Like they lose a race. It's like it's okay, man.
Right.
Like we're gonna do it again. You want to run it back? Let's run it back.
Okay.
Get better. Let's get better.
For sure.
I say my saying is make each other better.
No doubt.
Make each other better. That's the only way we get better. So that's what Skills and Drills is. It's just a competition. Do ladders. Just be active. Teaching them how to play. They never played ultimate football, which is a like a little fun little game, and they get real competitive at that. So it's like gym class 2.0. That's what Skills and Drills is, and the kids love it. You know, and I work in the schools, and they all. I see kids sometimes wearing their Skills and Drills shirts, and I'll see kids wearing NextGen shirts out in the grocery stores, and that's where I'm like, wow, they really love it.
For sure.
So that's, that's how I see it, you know, through that things. And
For sure.
It's not more, like you said, it's not about winning.
No doubt.
It's about how you feel about yourself.
Most definitely. Yeah, so we seen you recently featured in the news with the Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver Sky Moore. So what is that relationship like? Did you know him beforehand, and what has it been like, you know, since then?
Yeah, Sky Moore. So he was a part of the Arkan youth football program when he was young. He grew up, and he ended up he went from Arkan to Shady Side, but he still kept his New Ken roots and everything. And I did know him. I'm friends with, you know, New Ken's a small town, so you know I'm friends with his mom. You know, we are you'll see his mom out anywhere. You know, she's just a regular person. You know, and Sky Moore. A lot of the kids look up to him.
For sure.
A lot of the kids look up to him. A lot of kids have you go in New Ken, you ask what their favorite team is. They're not going to say the Steelers. They're going to say probably the Chiefs.
Right.
You know, I'm still a Steeler fan.
For sure.
You know, but you know, a lot of them, they like the Chiefs because not because they're winning Super Bowls, but because Sky Moore's on that team.
Right. And they see themselves right there. That's super dope.
And he's actually doing an event tomorrow.
Oh, really?
In New Kensington at the high school.
Okay.
And he's continuously giving back
to
the organization that he came up out of. And what I do, how I use that is, you know, you guys can be Sky Moore too. I watched him grow up. You know, I saw what he the same field you guys practice on, he played on. That's the same field. You know, so why not you?
Right.
So I keep that instilled with them, and you know, he comes out and he shows the kids his Super Bowl rings, and you know, to show them that you guys can achieve it. But it, you know, I want to be more, more in the schools with the kids and get their grades good.
No doubt.
You know, I think one thing that I'm missing, you know, I want, you know, sports, but another aspect of it is their grade.
For sure.
So, you know, I think, you know, going forward, I'm going to try to, how am I going to implement their education into this?
Which is huge.
You know,
I like that.
And I think that's because I think we celebrate the accomplishments and the trophies, but I think we have to celebrate the grades too. You know,
Amen
that I think that's because then they would put it all together. And Sky Moore, like, yeah, he went to Shady Side and he went to college. He had you know, school. It's school.
Right.
You know, you're a student first. You know, and
I was about to say that.
Yeah.
And so that's where I want to, you know, parallel with the Sky Moore compare is he went to school too. You know, he had to do that. So, but he's an inspiration to the whole town.
No doubt.
You know, as a whole. And I'm glad we have him.
For sure.
Now, we promote the girls' flag a lot. You've already alluded to it, but what made you decide, hey, I need a girls' team. I'm going to get right into it. And then more importantly, where do you see the future of girls going in Western Pennsylvania?
To answer your the last one, I see the future of girls flag football going really, really far. It's getting faster. It feels like, you know, it was just a thought. You know, a couple of years ago. Now, you know, here I see multiple teams and multiple schools doing it. And what inspired me to do it was, you know, was seeing y'all do it. You know, y'all kind of really put it on that platform here in this region.
For sure.
You know, to like, and you're both coaches of it. And so watching you two do it and kind of like, you know what, you know, I can try to do it too. So and our school, we didn't have a girls team, but we have interest. So, you know, knowing me, I'm like, I'm the type of person I like to, like, you know, let's make a change. So one day, I said, you know what? At the school board meeting, girls, you guys are going to go to your uniforms and go down to the school board meeting, and we're going to push. We're going to make, our school want to look.
I love that.
We have a team. We have girls. We have uniforms. What's the whole?
What's holding us up?
What are we waiting for?
That's dope.
So and I trying to push it in initiative, and that's why I'm so proud of these girls. This is their first year doing it, first time having to run. I practiced them like how I did boys. Like I didn't.
Ain't no difference.
There was no difference. So I had to push them. I had to find that balance for me. So it was but practices were they were competitive. They were learning every single game. Every game they learned. Every game, every practice they learned. And so that's what I wanted. So when them girls got to high school, they already have a team. They have a team in place. So I believe Valley is going to do a girls flag football team.
Nice.
So, in the future, those same girls that played
there it is.
P&L will be, playing, in the varsity. So
yeah, that's super dope.
I can't wait to see that. And I'm proud of them, really proud of them.
You should be proud.
They're pioneers.
Yes, they're pioneers
Absolutely.
to it. So
absolutely. All right. So how has your experience as a dad help mold you as a coach, as a mentor, and as a motivator for some of the kids in the Valley?
That's why I got my hat, dad game.
No doubt.
I wore it a lot during the season this year because it helped me remind me that I'm a father
for sure.
I'm a father first, and all these kids look up to you.
Yeah.
They look up.
For sure.
No matter what. And some of the kids, some kids, don't have the full glimpse of a family.
For sure.
You have sometimes being a coach, you have to feel a good coach feels that void.
No doubt.
Amen. They filled that void.
No doubt.
They filled the void for me, and I had my dad was in my life and everything, but when it came to like sports and things, but the coach was kind of like my dad. He was, if I made the coach proud, that's, I didn't need, that's all.
No doubt, for sure.
So they're the same way. They're people pleasers. They're all the kids, all my teams, they're all, people pleasers, and they want you to be proud. They want you to, they want some may want tough love.
No doubt.
Some may want coddled. Some may want, don't talk to me unless I ask,
For sure.
and you figure it out, and being a dad helps me because all my kids are different.
No doubt.
My oldest is different than my middle.
For sure.
And then my baby is, he's a baby.
No
so
doubt.
I got to, really adjust every time.
Yeah.
So being a dad, that helped me. That makes things easier when it comes to coaching a big group of kids, because you got to be able to handle different personalities, and I had credit to the parents and the guys that helped me out too. They helped facilitate those as well, and manage the team. So I credit it wasn't it was I was the man in the front, but there was people in behind that that helped with the kids as well, and I'm thankful for them too.
For sure.
Because it does take a village.
Oh, 100%.
So these kids really took to my coaching. They know me for a while, so they know, like, if I'm mad at them, I'm not mad at them. I may be mad at them for like 10 minutes, right. But I'm not. At the end of the day, after every practice, ask them, did you have fun?
No doubt.
After every game,
that's what it's about.
Did you have fun?
Right.
And they say, yeah. I say, proud of you. I say in the games, I'm proud of you. Give them thumbs up.
No doubt.
Give them little affirmations that that make them like say, okay, I'm doing good. And that's what I do.
Freaking love that.
The flag is growing in popularity. of the last few years. So where do you see NextGen going in the next 5 years? Where do you want to see NextGen over the next 5 years? And you like plan on going to some tournaments with them or what?
We had our taste of it at the Steel City Showdown, which was a local tournament hosted by y'all. And it was fun. It was wild. You know, we lost every seeding game, and then we won. And then we won the one game, and then we was in the semifinals. And we lost to the Youngstown team, I think Ohio team, and it gave me experience like we can do it.
Right.
So I was going to see how I can do it, how I can grow.
Okay.
You know, any local tournaments, I'm always, looking around to see, and it's all about timing.
For sure.
You know, it's all about timing.
Yeah, 100%.
Because a lot of kids have different commitments
For
elsewhere.
sure. Yeah.
You know,
yeah, we get that.
And so when the time is right, and if I see something, if I have to put together a smash, like a regular smash team, or whatever kids can give me, I would definitely travel. I want to do that. I do see us traveling, competing, for something, a bigger prize, a national prize, to put us on the map,
no doubt,
even more.
For sure.
Will be my goal,
no doubt,
long-term goal. And hopefully, I want to continue to see the kids grow.
No doubt.
So if they need to see other states and see other communities and other towns, then I will definitely have that power to take them to different. Let's go to Ohio. Let's go Beast of the East.
No doubt.
Let's try these tournaments and let's see where we're at.
No doubt.
And I feel like those kids will grasp it and grow with it. And so I do see us doing something really going far in a couple of years.
No doubt. Okay.
Stay tuned.
No doubt. Yeah, for sure. First of all, I want to say how proud that me and Coop are of you and how Fabian, the way you guys rally those kids in the community. I freaking love that. So that is phenomenal. So as an organizer, what has been like one of your most proudest moments, like creating NextGen?
What we're doing is working. We need to show that, these kids can do it. That's what it is, because a lot of the kids don't have many victories. So whenever we could pull this off,
for sure,
it's a huge accomplishment.
No doubt.
And this one thing I'm proud of is the community's being really rallying behind it. The community likes it. I see people.
That's when you really did something, once the community rallies behind you.
And I see people like my old teachers, old coaches,
nice.
Saying
nice.
Like, I saw you in the paper.
Love that.
I'm proud of you.
I love that. You're making a difference.
The senator, one of the state representatives, mailed me a copy of they mailed me a copy of the article that I was in, and laminated, and just was dope. Like wrote a personal letter, and just those things like that, like I just,
you making a difference.
That's what I want to do.
And people are noticing.
Yes. Big people are noticing.
Yes.
So for sure.
So I'm just trying to grow,
No
and I'm that's why I say I'm so thankful of you two letting me grow within your organization.
Absolutely.
And it's really people. I know we're going off topic, but it was my son that was in the league before NextGen was even a thing. My son played in Pittsburgh Flag, before, and I was just a dad just standing on the side, and I was like, man, I want to help. I want to, So I went from bleachers, and you saw me creeping down there, and then now
like, I got to do this.
I'm right next to Marcus, I'm like, Marcus, whatever you need, and shout out to Marcus, but just helping out and just seeing, and that's what got me in. It was my son.
For sure.
Watching it and like, this league is fun.
No doubt.
This league is fun.
No doubt.
He was with the Commanders, and then he played with the Cardinals, And so, and then I remember the Juneteenth tournament the Mellon Park tournament. That was so fun. Like that, man,
it was a vibe.
Yeah,
that's
like
what it's
it was
about.
so fun going from this field to this field and this field to this, and it was just so fun that day.
Right.
And I just was like, I want to be a part of this. I got to be a part of this.
No
How do I
doubt.
be a part of this? So that's how Skills and Drills kind of right in that moment turned into like, you know what, I'm going to do it next year. And that's when, I started talking to you. Let me how do I do it?
For sure.
And it was a good transition, and
doubt.
it was fun.
Yeah.
But it was y'all's the vibe that you guys created and continue to do.
No doubt.
Is big, and I see it in the kids and the competition. It's fun.
For sure.
It's so fun.
No doubt.
Off topic. Well, what I admire about you is I see you every day on the field. You're coaching all 4 or 5 of these teams. I'm just impressed with that. Usually it's just you coach an 8. Somebody just coaches an 8U team. But what made you decide to just I'm gonna have my hands in everything? Because I know because you do have 2 12U teams this past year. So somebody does coach the other one.
Yeah.
But I'm just impressed with you coaching all of them.
It was hard at first, like how to manage it, but at practices, that's where we practice. I think Monday through Thursday. Friday was optional if we had to cancel or something, and also I utilize the come early to the field. Let's work. Get to the field early. Let's be organized. Let's be about it. And so, and then we all kind of ran the same thing. So it was like, to make it easier for everybody, if we all kind of was just one entity. We're 5 teams, but we're really one mind. And I was kind of that. I was the mind. I was, so each team kind of had, a little bit of each other in them. So the 8U team and the 10U team, they went against each other sometimes. The 8U team and the 8U and the girls go against each other at practice sometimes, and the 10U where you really wanted to see some good practices was the 10U versus the 12U team. So that 10U team that versus the Cowboys in the championship game against the 12U team that versus the Dolphins in the championship game. And them two, and that's where the saying, make each other better. So, I told the 12U kids, I'm like, after the 10U one, I told the 12U kids, y'all help them win that.
No doubt.
Y'all help them win that.
That's
now let's
dope.
go get one. Let's go. Now it's your turn. So, and then, they went against the Dolphins, and that game, Dolphins, they smoked us the first the first week. And then that championship game, just the turnaround. It was a close game. It was competitive. The kids were playing hard. It was a great game.
No doubt.
Great football game. We didn't come out, we didn't get the results we wanted, but we grew. Some of the kids stayed around and watched that 14U game, championship. And when seeing that, I'm like, they love it. They love this,
No doubt.
and so every team had, really one mind, and they got better, with that. And if I was that puppeteer master that just pulled the strings, it was them that played.
No doubt.
So, I'm really, really proud of them and for committing to NextGen.
For sure. For sure. All right, my final question is, if you had the chance to coach in the LA Olympics, you got any NFL player to put together 5 offensive players in the team. What 5 NFL players would you pick?
Ooh, I'm going to have to go with Jalen Hurts.
Okay. All right. That's different. That's a good one.
Yes.
I got only because of you can run.
No doubt.
I don't know. If we raise my only choice would be Patrick Mahomes, maybe Lamar Jackson. But I like Jalen Hurts.
Okay.
He's a proven winner.
Oh, for sure.
So he won in college and he's won in NFL.
For sure.
That's true.
So, he's a proven winner.
No
That's
doubt.
a good point.
Running back, I gotta go with his buddies Saquon Barkley.
Okay, all right.
Just coming off a 2,000-yard season.
For sure.
Penn State running back.
No doubt.
Receivers. So I'm guessing I get two.
This is your team. You should have whatever you want to do.
All right, so I have three receivers. My one receiver would be Justin Jefferson.
Okay.
From Vikings. I think he might play in the Olympics this year.
Which would be
or
dope.
2028.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
So the other receiver will be his buddy, Jamar Chase.
Okay.
So I have
like it.
LSU connection back. This is my last one. Oh, this is tough. All right, and actually no, my last one will be probably, I will say, George Kittle.
Okay,
so he could be
I like that.
My center.
Yeah,
you got to have someone that's
especially in the red zone.
That's dope.
someone.
That's a good team.
Someone I will roll them 5 out.
No doubt.
If that was.
All
right. Well, before we close it out, is there anything that you want the people to know about NextGen or you, about you and your program? And then finally, after you tell us that, where can they reach you at on a social media?
If they want to be a part of NextGen.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm continue growing. So, what I want, what I need is, probably more help. If 5 teams, let's build. Let's build. I'm ready to build. We got the 5 teams. We can do 5. We could do less than that. We can, I just know 5 is a good number. But the more help I can get, the more better. I feel like the more better we can grow.
No doubt.
I want to grow. Definitely want to grow. I shout out to the Linda Louise Foundation. They're going to help me grow.
Nice.
And where they can find me at is, I don't have a NextGen Facebook page, but I do have Skills and Drills.
Okay.
Which is this is my logo too, and so you go on Facebook, Skills and Drills. You'll see all of our content. All of our last 2 seasons. You'll also see our workouts that we did before we even started. So you can, if you go all the way down to the first thing of Skills and Drills, you can see how we grew.
No doubt.
So you can see how we started as just a training, then we went from that to football, and so I just want to grow. I'm really thankful for the league to help me grow and to put a platform for these kids out to perform. I want to thank the parents of the kids who committed to the program, and the more, they had a few parents that helped out immensely. Did things that you saw my coach, but there was a lot of things behind the scenes that a lot of parents did, with snacks and just giving that love to the kids. It wasn't just me; they all loved it. So that was so that's what I feel like. That's what I want to do. I'm a community first organizer.
Yeah, no doubt.
All right. Well, James, it's been a pleasure having us here, and we promote positivity.
Thank you.
And you're doing a positive,
phenomenal.
You're a
job.
big positive thing in your community.
Thank you.
So, again, check us out on our socials and our YouTube channel, Pittsburgh National League, and catch some of our past episodes. All right. We'll see you next time. Flag Talk.
Living all in the moment, never not in the past. Seeing my moment pushes to now, guys.